So we're here with Michael Freeman. He's our judge and juror for the Pastel Society of North Carolina's Pure Color online international show, and this is our sixth one. So Michael, tell us something about your process and what did you think and how you came up with such a marvelous show, because it is fantastic. Thank you so much for that.
You're very welcome. I'd love to firstly thank the Pastel Society of North Carolina and all of the people involved in the background, putting together the exhibition and the show and dealing with online jury shows, and for the trust and faith that they've put in me to do the selection and put together the exhibition. I was really blown away by the quality of work. Before I start talking about my process, I thought I might share with you a little paragraph that was put up on the internet by an artist Facebook friend of mine, and I really identified with it. And I think that this little paragraph says something a little bit about probably how I went about selecting the work. So the paragraph is from a book titled Gift of the Loon, and it goes as follows. You think the artist has the final say, but I tell you, you are wrong. Each person who sees the art sees it through the window of their life, the window of their memories, their understanding. So there will be an exchange between the viewer and the artist. The mind combines with art. It is the way of magic. Your art will become something new in the mind of another. Your art will become something new. Sorry, I read that twice. The next time you go to the gallery or view another work, instead of asking yourself, what is the artist trying to say? Ask, what does this piece say to me? And that's really how I looked at the pieces when I first viewed them. In the exhibition, we had 876 paintings that were submitted. And I can tell you that's a lot of paintings. But what blew me away when I first saw the whole 876 painting was the quality of the work was amazing. And I knew right from the beginning that my task, if you like, was going to be quite large and quite challenging, but also incredibly enjoyable because of the quality of the work. So I've been told that we could have a maximum of 175 paintings in the exhibition, and that there would be no more than 2 paintings by any one artist. So initially, what I did was I looked at the thumbnails. I reviewed the whole 876 images, and I did that multiple times, and I did it in thumbnail form, but I also looked at the paintings individually. And I was looking at the quality and the diversity of styles and genres. It just was refreshing to see how many different styles, how many different genres were presented by the artists. I also was really impressed that there was a lot of new paintings, and I think paintings from artists that I haven't previously seen, and that was exciting. After I did the initial review of all of the 876, and I did that individually by painting, I then actually did a review by the artists, and I looked at each artist's submissions of their paintings. And I was looking to basically say yes or no in terms of picking those paintings for the exhibition. That was a long process in itself. And it was very difficult with some artists who had multiple paintings, and all the paintings were excellent. And so it was enjoyable but challenging. I was looking at the overall quality of the painting, the composition and technique, the quality of the mark making, the artist's understanding of pastel, values, color, line, shapes, edges, light, atmosphere, rhythm, movement, all the things that we know go into making a fantastic painting, concept, creativity. So I did that for each artist, and I then came up with a number of paintings. At that time in the process, I wasn't concerned about how many got in or how many didn't get in. I just wanted to go through, knowing that I had only about 20% of the total number of paintings that I could select. I knew I had to choose the best of the best. So I managed to get that down to 227 paintings. And I was pretty pleased with that. I had no idea about how many paintings I'd selected. And so to get to 227, I thought was not bad. But then that left me an incredible dilemma because I had to get rid of 52 paintings. 52 paintings that I already had said I loved and I liked. So I had to then look at other aspects that are important in terms of putting an exhibition together. I wanted the exhibition to celebrate the diversity and the amazing differences in genres and styles and subjects, and make sure that the exhibition was representative of all of the submissions. And I was also particularly keen to highlight any new artists, any new paintings that hadn't been seen before. So I went through again multiple times, knowing that I had to discard paintings out of the 227 to get down to 175. And that wasn't an easy process, but one that I did get to. My initial position really was to review paintings of artists that I had allowed 2 paintings to be in, and make sure I genuinely thought both paintings needed to be there. And then I went back and looked again at all of the paintings, and eventually I got to the 175. And that was the end of my jurying process. During that process, I would quite often leave 24 hours between looking at the paintings just to come back in fresh and to have a look at them again. So at the end, I did leave myself a day. I think the whole process took about a week. I left myself a day, and then I looked at the 175 paintings with regard to thinking about the awards. And now I was looking for different things. I was looking for the wow factor. I was looking for things that were compelling, things that paintings that drew me back in, and that I wanted to have a look at again. I was looking for unique vision, strong imagination, engaging story, and everything about the total package. And that was an interesting process. Again, I think I got the 175, I got down to about 30 paintings that I felt all of them deserved awards, because as I said earlier, the overall quality of the show, I think, is outstanding. And so I got down to 30, and over a couple of days, I managed eventually to get it down to the 17 awards, which you'll see later.
That sounds marvelous. I wonder if you would address for a moment you're concerned about the quality of the presentations of the paintings. Now, the work itself was great, but sometimes the photographs or something might have left something to be desired. I wonder if you could address that as well.
Yes, that was one of the things that I found most difficult, was that some artists had submitted paintings and they were beautiful paintings. And I think that they would have been included in the show. But unfortunately, the cropping of those paintings was such that, especially with an online show, had it been a physical show, I think it wouldn't have been such an issue. But with an online show, a poorly cropped image is a reflection on the whole show. So even though I could see the quality of the painting was of a standard that deserved to be in, because you could see bits and pieces around the outside, it wasn't acceptable for the exhibition. And that was a big shame. That was a big disappointment for me, because I know as an artist who submits to competitions, it's always disappointing to hear that your work has not been accepted. Um, I'd also like to reach out to all the artists who submitted and say that this was an outstanding sort of exhibition in terms of the number of paintings and the quality of paintings. And there was enormous amount of paintings that were of a quality that could easily have been in the exhibition. But because of the limitation on the number, it wasn't possible to put that work into the exhibition.
And I think that's a good one too. That's where all of us, we put our heart and soul in these things, and sometimes you come away and you've made it in, and sometimes you've come away and you did not. But but we have to still continue painting, because this is what we do. This is who we are.
Definitely. And BF, what I loved last year was the comment you made. It really resonated with me. And that was that if you win an award, don't let it go to your head. And if you don't get into the exhibition, don't let it go to your heart.
Oh, yes, yes. I heard that sometimes, and I thought, yes, that's exactly it. Because what we all know, and we've heard many judges saying that, on a different day, I might have made different choices, because so many of these things were fabulous. They were absolutely fabulous. And it's not to say that this is arbitrary. It's not, because you really do think and give it your best shot. But when you're choosing between fabulous and fabulous, and you can only have fabulous, one of them can't make it, and it's just and that's just the reality of it.
That's totally true. There's also the other aspect, I guess, is that I was very conscious of the fact that I felt that it was very important that this exhibition showcases all aspects of pastel, all genres, all styles, all subjects. I think in this exhibition, I found that the portraiture was, for me, it was amazing, and of a fabulous style. And I think at some point I had 7 or 8 portraits that I was thinking about giving awards. But to me, that wasn't representative of the whole exhibition. And so
Right.
I had to pull back on the number of portraits. And that was hard, because personally, I love the portraits. I don't know what it was in this exhibition, but I love them. And I wanted to hero them, but it wasn't fair, I felt, to all of the other genres, styles,
Sure.
subjects that were there. So not because they didn't deserve an award, but simply because it just didn't fit within what I had to give out.
Right. I do understand that. And I'm glad that you were sensitive to that also. And I also wanted to say, and we're not going to say what it is now, but the one that you chose as best of show, when I was going through and I looked at that, I thought, huh, isn't that interesting? And I sat there with that one for a really long time and thinking, isn't that interesting? And then, went on. And then when I went back again, that one stopped me again. So when I saw your awards, I thought that makes perfect sense, because I stopped at that one several different times.
That's how it hit me. It hit me the first time I saw it. The other thing, BF, which is interesting, is when you're looking at the artist submissions, the body of work or the number of submissions sometimes talk about the artist as a whole. And
Yes.
that particular piece was one of 4 or 5 submissions that were all amazing.
Yeah.
And so partly the reason for the best in show for me was not just that one piece. It was of a person that I don't believe I've seen their work before. It was the fantastic submission across all of the work.
Yes, I have to. Yes, I can agree with this. But I thought it was fabulous, and I thought that you chose a fabulous show. And what you're saying makes perfect sense, because it does feel that it goes over a broad range of possibilities. And and it's a great looking show, and it's a show that I feel that I haven't seen before, which is an interesting thing to say, considering what we do, and we're looking at this stuff every day, all the time. But this is a different looking show, but in a great positive way. It's a different looking show.
It's lovely to hear that. I mean, I think it was a very new situation for me to be the sole juror and the sole judge. I
Yes.
have never had that honor before. I have been a juror on my own, and someone else was doing the judging. I've done the reverse of that. I've been on multiple panels of jurying and judging, but this is the first time I've had sole responsibility, and that was a huge honor, but something I took very seriously, as you said. So it's lovely to hear the response and the feedback, because I did put a lot of work and a lot of thought into the work that was included in the exhibition.
Well, I'm glad of that. It looks like that. It really looks like that. So when everyone sees this show, I think everyone will be amazed as well, because I thought it was absolutely fabulous.
And as I said, that I can't ask for any more than that, because
Okay.
of the faith and the trust that you guys put in me. That's just lovely to hear. Now you had the opportunity to look at all 175 paintings in the exhibition. You know the joy and the pleasure that I had in selecting these paintings. It is an amazing celebration of pastel, from the quality and the diversity that is evident in all of the paintings that made it into the exhibition. Now let's have a look at the awards. Let me start with the first Merit Award, Meandering Orange Chola by Anna Lisa Leal. This is a beautiful, powerful use of colour, bursting off the support and emphasising the flowers. Great mark making. Next Merit Award goes to The Besties by Janice Barrett. A great painting of much-loved pets capturing a special moment, lovingly painted with a great title. The next Merit Award goes to Vineyard Sunset by Motti Chauvel. This artist has a unique, strong style, capturing beautifully the evening sunset falling on the roof, looking through the vines. It can be viewed as either abstract or realism. The next Merit Award goes to Sentimental Journey by Greta Linwood. This painting transports the viewer to the spot and the river pulls you in. Lovely depiction of the grasses and the trees, and the atmospheric perspective gives a lot of depth. The next Merit Award is Garden Exuberance by Jeanette Cuvas. Very unique mark making, confident and developed, needs to be looked at large. Don't just look at the thumbnail. Beautiful use of colour. The next Merit Award, Into the Wild, Karen Marguilis. Botanically inspired abstract, interesting lines and details can be appreciated from a distance or up close. Confident marks, lots to keep coming back to. The next Merit Award, Sun Fun by Glenn Maxion. An easily recognised artist, beautiful drawing skills and use of colour. The artist knows his subject well, but always poses new questions and captures new stories. Now we get to the honourable mentions. What Lies Beyond by Chris Chapin. A misty morning captured with a sense of mystery that grabs the viewer before you read the title. A great sense of depth into the mist and a wonderful use of the subtle colour palette. The next honourable mention is Victoria Crown Pigeon by John Pliszka. A realistic animal portrait which celebrates this majestic pigeon. Lovely details and composition that uses the diagonal of the beak to the red eye and onto the head crest. The next honourable mention, Before the Pie by B.F. Reed. An interesting and energising still life, both photorealistic and surrealistic, technically strong with elements beautifully rendered, the glass, apples, fabric, teapot and sky. A beautiful, joyful painting. The next honourable mention, Website by Anne Kurowski. This is a strong portrait which demands your attention through the eyes and the hand in a strong triangular composition. What is she about to say? Great use of the yellow and a looser background that also brings the viewer to the eyes. We have a special award for Sheba, Vladimir Zolsky. A wonderful use of a limited palette to portray this woman. A sensual painting that has a sense of intrigue, a strong sense of story and mystery. Fourth place goes to First Light, Carol Arnold. This painting is all about the light, early in the morning, beautiful use of colour and mark making, highlighting the focal point, the cactus in a grassy sea. The next four paintings, I had a hard time choosing between them in terms of where they placed for the awards. Each of the artists, I was pretty confident I did not know their work and had not seen it before. They're all amazing, but I had to give them an order, and this is the order that I gave these paintings. Third place, Winter Morning, Masafumi Sato. This is beautifully understated with a strong composition using the diagonals to lead the viewer to the little old lady getting off the escalator. Simple and yet lots of detail, from the reflections to the stains on the steps. A painting I kept on coming back to. Second place, Hurricane Season, Corey Goulet. This abstract didn't hide the artist's skill. From the sense of energy and movement, their use of colour and confident mark making. Before reading the title, I already had a sense of water, islands, rocks, energy and power. It's a beautiful abstract. First place, La Dama Presente, The Patient Lady, Fabio Cuffari. A hyper-realistic portrait of the artist's mother, which uses a powerful classical triangular composition and dramatic lighting to grab your attention. It speaks of strength, of spirit, character, protection, motherhood, and the Virgin Mary. High technical skill, which leaves the viewer asking, what medium was used? And finally, The Best in Show, A Sense of Futility by Alan Gust. This painting grabbed my attention immediately and kept it. Masterful simplicity, less is more. It felt new. It was a unique style, minimum, confident, bold mark making. And the use of colour, the bright orange and the blue. All of this artist's submissions were amazing, but this is the one that I loved the most. A powerful composition, the blue square creates a diagonal through its corners to the eyes and the glasses. Fantastic piece. Congratulations to all the winners. I invite you to Google them. Take a look at their work. I do not believe you'll be disappointed. Congratulations to all the artists who submitted work and for those who are in the exhibition. Thank you to the Pastel Society of North Carolina for this opportunity and to be part of Pure Colour. Now that we're all inspired by what we have seen, let's get back to our studios and get painting.